When you look at all these different industries, what are the differences that you've noticed in application when you're talking about low emotion to high emotion situations? What have you seen that kind of differentiates, if anything, those types of use cases?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And we do service again a very wide range of industries. And from clinical interactions, right? Like clinical interactions, right through to very large scale service interactions or now sales interactions. Um, so I think maybe I'd say what's common. So first of all, what's the same? So what's the same is that everybody wants a sort of systematic way to measure. They want to be able to measure things that like experience or employee experience, sort of regardless of call time. They want to be able to do that because they need a unifying sort of way to know what's going on, right? They also want configurability, and the reason they want configurability is because there's lots of different workflows and lots of different types, and lots of different contexts. And agents can, as we said before, can take lots of different types of calls, right? And the way that you speak to somebody from one pool of customers or one pool of customers may be different as well. So that I think is true. And then I think what's maybe different often is the way that the customers talk about things, the language they use. So, for example, in a healthcare setting, we might talk about using mindful compassion, right? That's a pretty technical term. That's a pretty technical term, right? So in that setting, that there's a lot of people that have been trained that are going to get that. In another setting, we might have a little cue that has a heart and says empathy cue, right? It's just a little bit different, using different languages to kind of, it's a similar point, right? You're trying to get the same point. Now is a moment to connect with the customer, like an emotional level, but the sort of the way that you do that changes. The other thing that I think is a really significant impact in the organizations that we serve is a lot of the organizations we serve are highly regulated. We tend to work with very large organizations at very large scale, and they have to make sure that they're doing what they need to do from a business perspective and doing it absolutely in the right way. Like that's like a huge focus, right? So people have to create guardrails to make sure that things are going to be good. Everything has to comply with the regulations, everything, but everyone also always wants to do the right thing. So, an example might be there might be different products and services that you have to be very careful about discussing with maybe a vulnerable person, right? It's it's a classic situation that you can find yourself in, and you have to be really careful that that's handled well.